Good evening, students. In this session, we will discuss the lymph. So, what is a lymph? It is a colorless fluid So, what are the components are present in the lymph? Just like the plasma, what are the components are there? All the components are present in lymph also, except RBC and platelets. Except RBC and platelets, remaining all constituents present in plasma. That means, what are the constituents present in plasma? All are present except RBC and platelets. What is the meaning of that? These two components are absent. Remaining all the constituents are present. So, what are that plasma having? Water is there and proteins are there. Glucose, amino acids and lipids are nutrients are there, and minerals are also there. All the nutrients are present, but they are present in a less quantity when compared to the plasma. So, here white blood cells are majorly present. In lymph, what is that? White blood cells are majorly present. White blood cells are majorly present. How the lymph is produced? How the lymph is produced in the body? So, if you see that what are the blood capillaries are there? The blood is commonly transport the oxygen and nutrients to the each and every cell of the body. So here the larger blood vessels are finally divided and form as the capillaries. Through these capillaries only oxygen and nutrients are supply the blood vessels into the each and every cell of the body. So at the time of supplying of oxygen and nutrients by the capillaries to the each and every cell of the body, through the walls of the capillaries, some amount of the constituents are diffused through the wall of the capillary and enter into the in between the cells. That is only we are called as interstitial fluid or intercellular fluid. Through the walls of the capillaries, because of thin walls of capillaries, the constituents of nutrients, the nutrients and oxygen is diffused and enter into the in between the spaces of the cells. So remaining the 85% of the constituents are directly enter into the cells only, but 15% of constituents are diffused out through the wall of the capillaries and enter in between the cells. That is only we are called interstitial fluid or intercellular fluid. This is only we are called as what? Lymph. It is only what? Lymph. This lymph is going to be taken out by the lymph vessels, then giving to the inferior vena cava, and from this inferior vena cava it is reached to the heart. So that means it is a supporting system of the circulatory system. So it is one of the system which can support the circulatory system. The lymphatic vessels collect all the interstitial fluid. That means the 15% of interstitial fluid is collected. From this only oxygen and also the nutrients are there. All those things are collected and giving to the inferior vena cava. Lymph vessels are collected and giving to inferior vena cava, nothing but of the venule system. Then through that it is reached to the heart. Then as usually blood is circulated. So that is the importance of the lymph. Lymph is produced at the time of supplying of blood to the cells. That lymph is again collected with the lymphatic vessels and giving to the circulatory system via venule system. Now, in the lymphatic system, what are the three important parts are there? Lymphatic system, three important parts are there. Lymphatic system present over all the body, just like the circulatory system. Here and there in the body, scatteredly arranged the lymphatic system also. In that, what are the important parts are lymph vessels, then lymph nodes, then lymph. Now, what are the lymph? We are already discussed. Now, lymph vessels. Lymph vessels are helpful for transportation, collecting the lymph and giving to the venule system and finally reach to the circulatory system. Under these lymph vessels, two types are there, very important. The first one is the right lymphatic vessel. Right lymphatic vessel. So what is the function of this right lymphatic vessel, which is present in the right side of the human beings? They can collect the blood, they can collect the lymph from the, what is that, upper limbs and also the right upper limb, shoulder, neck and head region. What are the lymph is there, that is all collected with the help of the right lymphatic vessel. The right side of the upper limb and also the neck, thorax region and also the head region, lymph is collected. The second one is the, what is that, thoracic duct. Thoracic duct is the largest lymphatic vessel which is present in the left side of the human being, which can collect the lymph from the lower limbs, that means legs, upper limbs of the left side and also the neck region, thorax region and head region. They can collect the lymph. That means 75% of the lymph is collected by the thoracic duct only 25% of lymph is collected by the, what is that, a right lymphatic vessel. Thoracic duct collect the 75%, that means the lower limbs, abdomen and also the upper limbs of left limb and head region, all those things, all those parts, lymph is collected. Lymph is collected and given to the inferior vena cava, then as usually it is reached to the circulatory system. That is about the important vessels of lymph vessels. Then lymph nodes. So lymph nodes are present here and there. In the lymphatic vessels only, lymph nodes are there. Those are a tissue, a mass of tissue present here and there on the lymph vessels. What is the importance of lymph nodes? These are the lymph nodes. What is the importance of lymph nodes? They produce the lymph and also white blood cells. They produce the white blood cells, especially they produce the white blood cells to kill any kind of antigens. Antigens means disease causing agents. Whatever the disease causing agents enter to the body, lymph nodes immediately produce the white blood cells to kill them. That is the function of lymph nodes. To produce white blood cells. Produce what? White blood cells. That is the function of the lymph nodes. After that lymph, we move to the, what is that, circulatory pathways. In human beings, circulatory pathways. So here, two types are there. Under this, the first one is the open circulation. Second one is the closed circulation. Open circulation or open circulatory system. Closed circulation or closed circulatory system. First, we are going to discuss the open circulation. So, what is the common example for open circulation is arthropoda and mollusca. These are the phylums coming under the open circulatory system. First of all, what is the meaning of open circulatory system? Under this, the first one is heart pumps the blood. Heart pumps the, what kind of blood? Oxygenated blood to the aorta. What is the aorta? Largest arteries are called aorta. Then after that it is entered into the arteries. That means aorta is subdivided into the blood vessels, those are arteries. After that it is entered into the arterioles. Arterioles then enter into the, what is that? Body spaces. Body spaces are also called sinuses. Whatever the blood pumped by the heart, that is nothing but of commonly pumped to the heart, is the oxygenated blood, which is reached to the cells of the every living things. But in the case of the open circulatory system, heart pump the oxygenated blood which is reached to the, which is not entered into the cells, which is reached into the body spaces. That means the empty spaces of the or body cavities of the living things. These are only we are called as the sinuses. This kind of circulatory system is called as open circulatory system. So then from these body spaces, as usually, carbon dioxide is going to be collected by the, what is that, arterioles. Then it is entered into the arteries. Then finally reach to the, what is that? I mean the carbon dioxide is collected by the what? Venules. Then venules to the veins. Then veins to the vena cava. Vena cava to the heart. So what is the thing is going to be collected? Carbon dioxide is collected from the body spaces into the heart via venules, veins and vena cava. So this kind of circulatory system is called as the open circulatory system. Common examples are arthropoda and mollusca. The next one is the closed circulatory system. So what is under the closed circulatory system? Common examples are Annelida and chordates. All these are examples of the closed circulatory system. Annelida means phylum Annelida. Common example is earthworm, and chordates are pisces, nothing but of fishes, frogs. Those are all examples for the closed circulatory system. If you observe that closed circulatory system, heart pumps the oxygenated blood to aorta, then aorta to the arteries, arteries to arterioles, arterioles to capillaries, capillaries to cells, cells of the body. All the cells of the body is going to be getting oxygenated blood from heart to the cells via so many arterial system of blood vessels, nothing but of aorta, arteries, arterioles and capillaries. Then the carbon dioxide is going to be collected. Carbon dioxide is collected from the cells with the help of what? Capillaries only. With the help of capillaries. Then capillaries to the venules. Then veins. Then veins to vena cava. Then vena cava to heart. So this is the way carbon dioxide collected from the cells and reached to the heart. Here what happened? Heart pumped the oxygenated blood that is directly reached to the cells. Then carbon dioxide collected by the venules that is directly reached to the heart. Here capillaries also present in the closed circulatory system. But in open circulatory system, capillaries are absent. Only the remaining larger blood vessels are there. The capillaries are completely absent in the, what is that? Open circulatory system. But in the case of closed circulatory system, blood is completely circulated inside of the blood vessels and finally reach to the cells. Then after that, blood also reach to the heart, go back to the heart through the blood vessels only, inside of the blood vessels only. Never it is not enter into the body cavities. That's why this is called closed circulatory system. Thank you, students. This session we will continue.